Haswell on 99.3 FM, AM 1230 WBVP, 95.7 FM, and 1460 AM WMBA. Also streaming live around the world at beavercountyradio.com.
Thank you, Noah. It is time now for Ask the Commissioners. We have in-house Beaver County Commissioners Tony Almadio and Jack Manning. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good to see you, Scott, as always.
We should have had you here yesterday, April Fool's Day. We could have played a prank on some. Told them that a Red Lobster is moving to Beaver County or something like that.
Yeah,
imagine
that's not even funny anymore.
What is it about Red Lobster? Why does everyone run a Red Lobster?
I don't know, because the franchise
40
is
years
actually going under. So
that's been the request for 40 years.
Was it ever close? Was it ever like a proposal?
The business model is so unique with them that you just can't get a Red Lobster. You got to get the whole series of restaurants because what they do is they put, like, was there 4 restaurants?
Darden
and
Industries.
then in the middle of
owns
it, they have a distribution center
Ah.
that services those 4 restaurants.
So it's not that easy. Just
Olive Garden, Red Lobster,
Smoky
Bahama
Bones,
Breeze,
which is closed, I think.
another one there. Yeah, they own those, and they like to have them clustered like they do in Robinson and
or
other places.
Boardman, or
And we just never had the demographics to support a chain like that.
I mean, people go to those restaurants from here, but if they're going to go, they just go to across the line. to
Robinson
Allegheny County.
Yeah. Well, that does answer a burning question. Thank you for that. Let's talk about real developments that are coming to Beaver County. Well, any updates, whether it's the Mitsubishi plant or the data center, or what are you hearing?
Mitsubishi still plans on opening in the fall. I mean, they're under construction. That's a couple hundred jobs. They're excited and doing well. The data center is still for Bruce Mansfield still a work in progress. Nothing's been signed and on the dotted line. Some of us are going to go visit a data center in Ohio.
Sandusky.
Oh, okay.
So doing a little day trip out there to check out that. So that's a work in progress. Still optimistic that it comes and it's completed. But that's the only one that we're actively engaged in discussions on.
You learn a lot from those trips. I remember the Shell trip. We went down to Louisiana. You can have people tell you whatever they want you to hear, or you actually go down and see what you really want to see.
Do you get out and actually like go to a diner or walk the streets and see what businesses?
I did that when I went down to Louisiana. Yes.
Yeah, I actually worked at two of the Shell plants down the Gulf Coast that these guys visited early in my career, so I was pretty familiar with the area and the Gulf Coast before that when they were considering building and all that stuff. But it's good when Chamber of Commerce and different organizations and elected officials can go and actually visit and see what the impact is on the community and on the neighborhoods and on the residents and on the business development. I think that's always good due diligence for anybody.
And what is the latest with Shell as far as what they're manufacturing specifically? We've heard about the plastics, the small pieces of plastic. Initially, we were thinking it was more like drilling and then there'd be, I don't know, the gas. But it's always been confusing to me. Was the plastics always the plan, and are they sticking to that?
Yeah, no. It was supposed they delivered what they said they were going to do, which was a world-class, high-scale polyethylene production plant. And polyethylene is made through natural gas, cracking the different layers.
The fracking, a.k.a. the fracking, right? Okay.
Well, fracking is what gets the gas out of the ground.
Okay.
Cracking the layers of gas to separate the different layers, the different carbon chains. Those carbon chains are then converted with some other chemicals in a reactor that create the polymer, a powder mix of polymer that is then extruded and made into little tiny plastic pellets.
Okay.
And that
That's
goes
what
into
they're
everything:
selling.
clothing, shoes,
You name it, pipes. I mean, since we're on this topic, and you guys know I worked in this industry for a long time, so I'm pretty passionate about the people and the folks that I've worked with over the years, but also the products. People want to bash plastics, but go to a grocery store and see that 70% of the products there, plastic is engaged with it somehow. Think about the food waste we would have without plastic products. I mean, I'll take a handful of ground beef and put it in a brown paper bag and walk out with it. No, they're on trays. They're wrapped in saran wrap. They're doing stuff. You look at the shelves, the lightweighting of products going from plastic, from glass, and tin, and metal cans so that you can put more in a truck, deliver it. The lightweighting of cars. the estimates are there's about 40, 45 pounds of plastic in every automobile. The reason is that it's displacing metal, makes the cars lighter weight, makes the fuel economy better. So all of these advances, I mean, every one of these devices that we put in our pockets and have in our homes.
Well, it's hard to drink water without having water.
the plastics
Plastic.
industry. Would not happen without the plastics. So everybody, doesn't want to give up the conveniences and all the quality of life improvements we have because they don't want something in their backyard. Same thing with energy. This all takes energy for us to be here and do this show. But nobody wants anything that produces energy on a scale enough to meet the demand of the increase in electronics and goods and conveniences that we all count on. So same with the data centers. People are getting some, but where do you think all this data is going?
Yeah.
And just yesterday, I was able to survive because my wife was Ubering my grandchildren all around, and we had leftover pizza from Vesuvio's
Good
in a
pick.
Ziploc bag.
There you go.
And I was able to handle it because I just unzipped it, pulled the pizza out, put it on a paper plate, and covered it with the Ziploc bag. 2 minutes in the microwave, and I had supper.
It's a good slice of pie there.
I mean,
Vesuvius.
nobody likes plastic bags blowing in trees and the litter and all that stuff. But I can tell you, as someone who is so tired of picking up litter in front of my yard, the fast food waste, it's paper, it's aluminum cans, it's beer cans, it's people chucking stuff out the windows in the middle of the night. It annoys the heck out of me. But I can't blame the products. I blame the behavior of the people that insist on being slobs and disrespectful to the environment and to the neighborhood by throwing trash out. But that's just me, Scott. What do I know?
That jogs my memory. What about the recycling center? Anything new there? Like here in Brighton Township, it surprises me, disappoints me. We don't do glass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And other places.
No money in it anymore.
Is that what it is? Is that
It's
a
a
state?
tough
Is that a
market.
state level, a
Yeah.
county level, a business model, or why is that?
Yeah, it's a business issue in that when the supply is so strong and the demand can't keep up for it, a lot of folks can't make any money. It costs them to recycle, curbside recycle. We're that way sometimes with newspapers, but glass particularly.
I
They
remember
can't
we had
find
so
enough
much-
outlets for the.
We had to
red
separate
glass.
the brown glass from the
Colored glass
colored
from,
glass. I mean,
clear,
it was
yeah.
incredible. And by the way, we were looking at purchasing a new machine down there for $200,000.
Shred truck.
Shred truck.
What would that do? What would that add?
It would shred all documents for people
Oh,
in
okay.
government. And
Yeah, document shredding, but it also helps with our recycling center overall.
Yeah, we
And
make some
occasionally
money.
that truck would go out and have different shred days. People would bring their old bank records and things they,
yeah, 2 years
wanted to get
ago, I
rid of.
did 40 years of income taxes.
Oh. I am the same way. I have credit card statements from credit cards I don't even own anymore, but
Yeah.
I still have the.
Yeah, I am. And Tony knows it. I'm downsizing. I'm in the process of moving. I've been going through boxes like crazy from 26 years of living in
Yeah.
Chippewa and all that stuff that travel from New Jersey to Virginia to Pennsylvania.
I still have lesson plans from 19 years ago in boxes in my basement.
Do they still apply? Are they
Yes,
Still,
They're civics, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm not sure they teach that anymore.
Oh, good point. Yeah.
Of course they would.
That's a whole other point there. And when we're talking about paper and records, that leads us right here to this building. And you guys are moving the county records. It seems to be a lot more activity, I've noticed at least. And
It's picking up some momentum. We're kind of hamstrung by how quickly the mines are letting us pull stuff out and bring it in here. I was just in this morning checking out our elections, some of our election teams there, sorting stuff out. From an election standpoint and all of that constraint that they have, it's a beautiful setup they have back there. Very well organized, have everything they need. And they're getting ready, obviously the primary is coming up in May. So they got all the machines, all the records, all the stuff so that each of the precincts that we have will be able to come here, pick up the stuff they need, take it back, and then election night, be able to go through the process and then bring everything they need back here. So on the election side, it's working well, but each of the, I don't know, how many departments is it, Tony, that we've got
Oh.
that have records there?
Every
18,
department
20 different departments. We're slowly starting to bring stuff out, but understand what can be shredded and destroyed versus what has to be moved.
Yeah, some have 2 years, 5 years, 7 years. Some are lifetime.
Yeah, there's different. The courts are a lot different than some of the other places on how long. And some court records always have to be paper, can't go digital, different things like that. But we're trying to minimize the amount of paperwork that needs storage on top of drawing what we have out there that needs to be saved and can be destroyed. So it's a work in progress, but pretty pleased everybody seems to be coordinating and working well internally, at least from a courthouse perspective.
Now that we're in April, we're a little more than a month away, I guess, from election. You mentioned that, Election Day. Any special preparations or what?
Just
Do you
the
foresee
usual.
anything different,
I mean,
or status quo? Or
What? Yeah,
we're doing everything the same.
Usually the biggest hang up is just getting the ballots printed, right? Sorting through, who filed a petition to get on. There's always court challenges
right now.
for different people. So there's one court challenge that's holding up a couple of precincts here, challenging whether somebody should be on the ballot. They had valid signatures to be on the ballot and stuff. Once you get past that, it's getting them out. Yesterday, what was it, 9,600?
They're
mail-in ballots
projecting
have
over
been-
10,000.
Have been issued. So it's,
how does that compare with a year ago, 4 years
This is
ago?
more
Is it?
than last year.
especially for a primary. For the general election, we usually get more than we do for a primary. So to have 9,600 about out now for a primary, that seems high. Not sure what the motivation is. Dean sounds because, quite frankly, there aren't a whole lot of challenges on
not a lot of
most of the
election, yeah.
races
Yeah.
in the primary this year.
Until the fall.
Right.
Until the fall.
But are there any new requirements? There seems to be a lot of talk about that confusion. Do I need a different kind of ID? Do I need to,
We maintain that it's states.
don't-
Elections are state regulated.
Don't get me started on that.
Yeah.
But that executive order that the president signed will not stand. That's states' rights. The Constitution says states govern and oversee
You learn that in
elections.
American civics.
We are the election.
bring back that book from 19 years ago? We might
I
need
still
it.
have that book too, by the way.
Yeah. I have no problem with photo ID and people, showing you who they are. But the onerousness of some of this stuff, even the Save America Act, there are parts of it I adamantly disagree with. And I've told McCormick, Fetterman, different people that as well, that we can't make it difficult for people to prove that they can vote. I mean, it's their right to do that. Been voting for years. You've got how many women have changed their name, getting married,
Yeah.
Some
and it
more
doesn't
than
match
one.
doesn't match their birth certificate, and yet they've got to go find a birth certificate and then go to where they were married to find a document that proves they're the same person on the birth certificate. That's just all crap.
And then it has to be a certified copy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, you can't have copies to copies. 20 million people don't have passports or some number like that. I mean, and then you go to get a passport. It's not cheap.
Yeah.
We have an elderly population here. Some of them who don't. We're going to ask them to spend a couple $100 to go get a passport at this point. At this, they're in their 70s or 80s or something. They got to go get a passport that they've never done before just to prove they are who they are. A lot of them being veterans and have served this country
Did he
for
just
years.
say 70s?
And now you're going to challenge whether they're citizens or not. I don't know. I just find the whole thing absurd, totally unnecessary.
There's people who are walking in and know everyone on a first name basis at the
Right.
polling place they're voting, and they've been
Exactly.
They've been voting for
Exactly.
years. And statistically, you look at the cases of fraud. I mean, we've had, I don't know, in the 6 years I've been here, Tony's been around a lot longer. How many cases of actual fraud have we had?
I know of one.
I think, yeah.
I know of one.
I read something that, different Brookings Institute, different kind of nonpartisan institutes have done, that the chances of voter fraud from mail-in ballots is like 4 in 10 million. I mean, that's,
Yeah.
we have safe, secure elections with backup things that if somebody does vote, tries to vote twice, we catch them, all this stuff. I mean, we even screen obituaries to make sure that somebody that sent in a mail-in ballot
Oh, wow.
and then have
And
to
then
pass
it purge.
away before Election Day, we pull that ballot.
Yeah.
I mean, dead people can't vote.
We've been purging for years.
Wow.
If you don't vote in, I think it's a 2-year period,
Yeah.
then you could be purged.
Yeah, so I don't know. It just seems like
Smokescreen.
an overkill, just an overkill that will disenfranchise more people than will correct the perceived issue that there's fraud, especially with the mail-in ballots, which I've always been in favor of. And you look at states like Utah and Florida and all these other states, primarily that's the most prominent way that they do vote is through mail-in. Even the president himself
Did a mail-in ballot,
uses mail-in ballot. So I don't understand all of the angst over mail-in ballots particularly, and that's one of my big objections with the
Is that
Save
do as I
America
say,
Act.
not as I do? Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, exactly. We're talking to the county commissioners. Anything you want to ask related to their jurisdiction, give us a call, 724-843-1888. We'll go for a commercial break. We'll be back. Hold tight.
Tune in for Spotlight on Seniors every Sunday at 11 a.m. Host Valerie McKelvey will highlight what's important to the seniors of Beaver County. Spotlight on Seniors is brought to you by the Beaver County Office on Aging and BeaverCountyRadio.com.
Beaver County Transit Authority connects you to where you want to be. The doctor's office or well-deserved shopping spree will take you to wherever you please. Safe, no fuss, leave the driving to us. Hop on, adventures coming your way. Beaver County Transit Authority, BCTA. Ride the bus.
BCTA Connect, your ride to out-of-county destinations, is live now. You can book a trip as soon as today to destinations in Cranberry, Wexford, Warrendale, Moon, Sewickley, Leetsdale, and more with the BCTA Connect mobile app. For medical, employment, or any other trip need, BCTA connects you to out-of-county stops. Download the free app today.
Beaver County Transit Authority, BCTA. Ride the bus.
Remember way back when you were young and the bus ride to and from school set the tone for what made your day special? School buses and vans have had a special place in the Fry family for 3 generations. At Fry Transportation, the student transportation industry is embraced as a tradition, privilege, and lifestyle. From the morning laughs on the way to school to the talk about the day on the way home. Memories you won't forget, just like the vintage football games aired each week on Beaver County Radio. Fry Transportation, caring for your children as they care for their own.
Make Easter more delicious than ever with chocolates and novelties from Rosalind Candy Castle. You're invited to stop in for the area's best selection of Easter basket fillers and novelties made from the highest quality pure milk chocolate. Try their homemade hand-decorated Easter eggs, such as the mouth-watering peanut butter melt-away eggs, delicious cashew melt-away eggs, or the traditional fruit and nut eggs. All 15 varieties of Easter eggs are made fresh in Rosalind's Candy Kitchen. Hop on over to Rosalind Candy Castle on the corner of 13th Street and 5th Avenue in New Brighton, or shop online at rosalindcandy.com. Rosalind Candy Castle, the sweetest place in Beaver County.
How would you like to have your own credit union office right in your living room? Or maybe next to your desk at work? This is Andy Dingle from Freedom United Federal Credit Union. Oh, don't worry. I'm not going to take up residence in your home or start tagging along to work with you. But what I'm talking about is even better. Introducing mobile check deposit from Freedom United Federal Credit Union. Think of it this way. When your phone is in your hand, you can deposit checks anytime, anywhere. Stop in and ask for details or download the Freedom United mobile app today and send us a direct message. Think of it as carrying your favorite Freedom United tellers in your pocket, ready to help you deposit checks from the convenience of your mobile device. Now that's what I call getting more freedom in your future. Freedom United Federal Credit Union, member NCUA, equal housing lender.
Baseball is finally back, and the Pirates are set to open their season at home against the Baltimore Orioles April 3rd through the 5th for opening weekend presented by Giant Eagle. It all starts on Friday, April 3rd when the Bucks take on the Birds for the home opener. Plus, all fans that day take home a 2026 magnetic schedule. Then Saturday, the Pirates take on the Orioles for Game 2 of the series at 4:05. Then we close out opening weekend with some Sunday afternoon baseball at 1:35. Get your tickets now at Pirates.com.
We're back at Beaver County Radio coming at you from the Fry Transportation Group studios. Scott Tatey here. It is Ask the Commissioners. Tony Almadio and Jack Manning joining us from the County Commissioners. You got a question for them? Give us a call, 724-843-1888. I always think it's important to ask about the updates on the hospital, Heritage Valley, and the acquisition there. Well, any developments?
Well, we haven't heard anything specifically, but the Attorney General Dave Sunday was here. Tony and I were at the press conference with Nate Bible, our district attorney, on this LETI program, this Law Enforcement Treatment Initiative. And it's the first time I'd ever met the Attorney General. Seems like a great guy, by the way. I was really impressed, and he's really
very personable.
Very personable, very much into this treatment instead of incarceration for people that are sick rather than just bad people doing bad things. There are sick people who need to get well, and this interdiction stuff they have. But I managed to corner him and pull him aside and said, "Hey, what's the latest on the Heritage Valley Allegheny Health Network affiliation?" He said he wasn't up on the details because obviously he's not handling that personally as a staff there, but was going to get back to us, he thought, shortly to be able to give us some good news there. I know, just my words, I don't want to put any words in his mouth, but the state thinks it's very important for this to go through as well.
And we let them know we think it's very important.
And there's nothing in my mind right now from an economic quality of life standpoint than ensuring that Heritage Valley, all its facilities, continue to have the resources, and the combination of those two entities, I think, is a tremendous match, and will help secure health care for the foreseeable future. So he knows that. The state's on board. It will still have to go through a federal review, which seems ridiculous to me, but I understand. They just want to make sure that some entity isn't monopolizing the health care and could, in that monopolization of it, create accessibility or affordability issues as a result of that. I think just the opposite will happen.
Our people just can't go to Pittsburgh every time.
They're not going to drive to
even
Wexford or Wexford.
Wexford and Cranberry or Philly or Cleveland Clinic. We have a lot of great options, and if you need some really specialized care and different things, we have those. But Allegheny Health Network and Highmark's going to bring that.
Heritage Valley. I'm here today because of Heritage Valley. Really. I mean, everything I've been through in the last 5 years, I call myself the $300,000 man. I'm completely rebuilt. They saved my life twice. So,
like Steve Austin, right?
Yeah, well.
Because we were talking about the importance of having a hospital here. Like, if I'm a developer, I'm putting up houses in New Sewickley Township or something. That's one of the very first things people are going to look at if they're going to buy a house.
Well, yeah.
Is there a hospital nearby?
If you're going to buy a house, if you're going to start a business, if you're going to come into an area, those are some of the quality of life amenities that people don't think about. It's not just the land and the location; it's what kind of retail businesses have. We get a lot of good press over our downtowns and the vitality and the vibrancy of our downtowns. Susan Renda, who was the Senior Vice President of Mitsubishi, talked about their desire to pick Beaver County to put that factory in was because they visited downtown Beaver and Beaver Falls, and they like that sense of community that we have here in Beaver County. And healthcare is an important part of that, having that accessible healthcare.
I agree. Well, Noah Haswell with news in just 1 minute.
Start your day with breakfast at McDonald's. How about a sausage egg McMuffin meal with hash browns and coffee for only $5? Whether you're on your way to work or on your way to school, McDonald's has the right breakfast for you. McDonald's breakfast. I'm loving it.
Listen to Beaver County Radio and Weather on the Nines for the most recent weather update each Monday through Friday at 8:09 a.m. Weather on the Nines is brought to you each weekday by Homer 9 & Sons Heating and Cooling.
J. Young Refuse and Industry is proud to be an integral part of Beaver County for the past 36 years. Featuring a wide range of recycling services for contracted areas, they are sure to help you get the job done. The J. Young Refuse team of professional drivers consistently exceed safety and service throughout the day, while their customer service representatives take professionalism to the next level. J. Young Refuse offers both commercial and residential pickup as well. Call J. Young Refuse at 724-495-6199 today.
Beaver County Radio's news source. 99.3 FM, 1230 WBVP, and beavercountyradio.com. Here's Noah Haswell.
Good morning on this Thursday, April 2nd of 2026. We will have a complete Beaver County radio weather forecast after we take this look at news. During the Solicitor's report of the Beaver County Commissioners' work session yesterday at the county courthouse, Beaver County Solicitor Garen Fidelis discussed a possible new agreement after a meeting that the commissioners had on Tuesday with representatives from various communities that are within the county's Emergency Services Unit and Drug Task Force.
We had a meeting yesterday with representatives from various communities regarding the county's Drug Task Force and Emergency Services Unit. We met with various solicitors and police chiefs. We're looking at putting together a new agreement. There's been an agreement that's been in place since 2017 between the county and the communities on how the officers from the local communities who serve in those various task forces are paid, with the hope that we're going to be able to implement a new agreement between the communities that would keep the Drug Task Force and the ESU members who are from communities who serve on those as employees for their local municipality. In return, the county would give a reimbursement to the municipalities as opposed to those individuals being employees of the county.
The Pennsylvania State Police has now opened a new selection cycle for men and women who are considering a rewarding career as a state trooper. Applications should be submitted by May 29th, 2026 via the Commonwealth's employment website, which can be found on our website at beavercountyradio.com. Applicants must either have a high school diploma or a GED certificate, as well as a valid driver's license from any state. They must be at least 20 years old at the time of application, and they must be at least 21 years old and cannot have reached age 40 upon the entry into the training academy. This April, the nonprofit Vitalant is asking the community to give blood during National Volunteer Month to help maintain a steady and safe supply for local patients and hospitals for those that need it. Someone in the U.S. needs a blood transfusion every 2 seconds. Some ways to donate blood, as well as some upcoming Beaver County blood drives this month, can be found on our website at beavercountyradio.com. President Donald Trump says U.S. forces will finish the job in Iran soon as core strategic objectives are nearing completion. He offered a full-throated defense of the war last night in his first national address since the conflict began more than a month ago. And 4 astronauts have embarked on a high-stakes flight around the moon, humanity's first lunar voyage in more than half a century. It's the throwing lead off in NASA's push toward a lunar landing in 2 years. The 32-story moon rocket with the Artemis II crew blasted off from Florida's Kennedy Space Center yesterday evening, carrying 3 Americans and 1 Canadian.
Here's the Beaver County forecast.
Expect some areas of patchy fog through mid-morning. Otherwise, it'll be partly sunny with a chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms. We'll reach highs near 80 and drop down to lows of 64. And tomorrow, look for gusty winds with showers and thunderstorms likely. We're going to see a little sunshine as well, with highs of 78 and lows of 62. I'm Lisa Marie with your Beaver County weather.
On this Thursday, April 2nd of 2026 at 34 minutes after 9, we've got a temperature of 53 degrees with some light drizzle of rain out there currently in Beaver County. That's a look at the news for now. I'm Noah Haswell on 99.3 FM, AM 1230 WBVP, 95.7 FM, and 1460 AM WMBA. Also streaming live around the world at beavercountyradio.com.
Also streaming on our Facebook page, we are here with the county commissioners. Well, 2 of them, Jack Manning and Tony Almadillo. I'm going to call out Dan Camp. I'm sure he's busy. I'm sure he's doing something. We heard Noah's report about Garen Fidelis. So what is the overall impact on that? Is that something that's going to affect municipal budgets, county budgets, or what are the advantages of what he's talking about, this agreement, if it goes through?
Well, a lot of it does have to do with budgets, but it's really ensuring that we have the diversity of talent that we need from the different municipalities for our emergency services unit. I don't want to speak for Tony, but I know we're extremely proud of that group. Falls under the district attorney. It's run by our chief detective, Pat Young. It's an award-winning, high-scoring emergency response team that goes out. People refer to it as SWAT, but it's much more. It's just not guys showing up in armor and guns. It's behavioral health. It's negotiators. It's language experts. It's a great behavioral health law enforcement coalition of people from the jail, different ones. The ones that come from the municipalities, they respond to our call-outs, but they're still municipal employees. So the issue here is compensating and ensuring and making sure that the municipalities and that officer is whole in their assignment while they're coming out on a call. And these guys get 2 to 3 calls a month, probably on average.
Yeah, we want to protect the men.
So
we want to protect the municipalities, and we want to protect the county. That's what this is all about.
The county foots the bill for most of it. People have heard me say this before, but our people need to be well-trained, well-equipped, and well-led. If you don't provide all of those, anything, this is my old manufacturing days as a plant manager. My people weren't well-trained, well-equipped, and well-led. I'm setting them up for failure. We don't want to set the ESU up for failure. So we always make sure they've got the equipment they need to be successful. We pay for the training that they go through to be successful, and we have great leadership in the ranks there. Some of that expense, though, does have to fall back on the municipality, and all 53 municipalities can and have benefited from having this emergency services unit. You never know when there's a domestic dispute, a barricaded individual, somebody holding somebody hostage, or just an escaped criminal, out there doing some stuff. So it can happen anywhere. These guys respond. They respond quickly, and they do it well. And the reason we know they do it well is you never hear anything about it.
Yeah.
Right.
We're very proud of
They
them.
do these assignments all the time and have been for years, and you never hear about something went wrong or this or whatever. So they're a great team, and we just want to make sure, as Tony said, we're protecting each of those, the livelihoods of each of those folks that are participants. A lot of their sheriff's department guys, like we said, and county employees, but many are from, I guess, about a dozen different police departments. I think have officers that are trained and involved in different capacities. So.
Now, time of year, we're in April now. Winter is finally gone. Snow is finally gone. It's time to start thinking about road repairs, construction, things like that. Are you hearing anything from PennDOT? What highways or roads they'll be targeting in Beaver County this year? Or how does that process come about?
We haven't heard anything yet.
Is that normal?
Just remember, we only have 5 roads in the county.
Right. But do they at least let you know that we're going to be doing 376 or 51?
Yeah, I mean, there's some PennDOT things that come out all the time, different sections of 376, and you just have to get, as soon as you get on, you'll see, 1 lane ahead.
Right.
Yeah, we're more concerned with the arteries that go through the county.
Right.
Yeah.
65, 51. Expressways is important, but that's separate, really.
Right.
I know we reached out to Garen Fidelis, speaking of Garen, reached out again just yesterday. We haven't heard back on Wildwood Road, potentially. Where are they? They were supposed to do some testing to make sure that the hillside hadn't slid anymore and that they can do some repairs. We're still waiting to open up arteries like that. But I got to tell you, I mean, this winter was every year, but it would seem to be very harsh. I mean, you can't drive anywhere. Any of our downtowns at 51, 18, 65, 68. And I mean, the potholes are just, we had an event, I was at an event at the Willows, and one of the participants was coming down through industry there, hit a pothole in which there was rebar exposed.
Oh.
6 inches. It blew his tire out immediately. He was there in a suit changing the tire.
I've had that happen.
Somebody came, actually a neighbor came out and helped him, the houses along that stretch in the industry before you get to the Willows and stuff. But I mean, that's how bad some of the roads.
I've broken my A-frame. I mean, ball joints.
The wear and tear on
The state's never responsible. It's amazing.
Noticed that. Well, it's also the year of the 250th anniversary of America. And then as far as from the county level, any special one-day event or any community-wide event? And what happened to that bell, the 250th bell? Was that ever going to be
cracked?
It's cracked. It's out in the
Well,
lobby.
it'll be authentic. It'll be
It's
authentic.
out in the lobby right
We
now.
moved it out of the conference room into the lobby so that all the visitors coming in. Not everybody comes into our meeting room, the Commissioner's public meeting room. So it's right there as you come in the doors or as you're exiting. It's right in the corner there with a couple of placards talking about the 250th anniversary and describing the bell. The calendar's getting filled up. A lot of local municipalities and different of our historical groups are doing some stuff. We expect a lot of stuff around Garrison Day, some big events there.
Yeah.
Big parade in Beaver for the 250th, specifically in addition to Veterans Day, 4th of July, Memorial Day parades will all take place. So I think we'll all have an extra emphasis about the 250th in those.
So there'll be one parade separate from Memorial Day or July 4th. There'll be one parade just for the 250th? Is that?
Yeah, that's in September. It's like the third weekend.
I should know, too. I think
they're trying to wait for
there.
the schools to get in session so we can get the bands.
Yeah.
We want to make sure all the high school bands have a chance. That was great about last year's Veterans Parade. I think we had 12 out of 14, high school bands were able to participate on that. Always a struggle,
during the
they're out
day.
of school to get them together, and then the whole transportation issue seems like we had the Environthon at Brady's Run yesterday. I was there. We had probably 8 to 10 different school districts and a bunch of teams there, and it's all about the buses and getting those kids for any special events like that. The Youth Ambassador Program, getting them to the Dome, transportation.
It's hard getting the kids to go to school on the buses.
Yeah.
I mean,
But we're pleased because I think that parade, just like the Veterans Day parade, probably the 4th of July, be a little bit different because school is out there. But we always love it with the high school.
we're
bands can all
already
participate.
saving for candy. It's a big expense.
I'm trying to think if I saw you at the St. Patrick's Day parade. Did I see you?
No, I was actually away.
Okay.
I was in Harrisburg.
Yeah.
In Monaca. They did a nice job.
I missed it.
Yeah.
I was in a funeral in New Jersey and then Harrisburg for CCAP.
Oh, you guys are busy.
That weekend. Yeah,
Totally
so,
understand that.
unfortunately.
There's a big opening this Easter Sunday in Bridgewater. That Orchard Hill Church, they took over the vacant church that's sitting there on Riverside and Market Drive. They're expecting like more than 1,000 people to show
They're
up for this.
advertising.
Yeah.
I actually got a mailer in my house.
Same. So, things happening. All right, we're going to do one more commercial break. We'll be back with more. If you have a question for the county commissioners, give us a call, 724-843-1888.
Put freedom in your future. Freedom United Federal Credit Union in Rochester.
The NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series.
Down to the line they come. Green flag is in the air.
Heads to the sand hills of North Carolina.
He runs it up about a car length off the safety barrier.
To race at Rockingham Speedway.
Low lane exit off the corner, screaming to the start-finish line. The checkered flag is waving.
It's the North Carolina Education Lottery 250, presented by Black's Tire. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
The green flag flies, and we are off and away.
Returns to the Rock.
One truck hard up into the outside wall, slamming the outside safer barrier. It's Ben Rhodes.
For a Friday afternoon short track battle.
Heim gets alongside. Heim slides across the nose. Corey Heim takes the lead off turn 4.
It's the Black's Tire 200.
Can tuning into a radio show really change your life? It can when you listen to Beaver County Radio in the 9 o'clock hour, the third Tuesday of every month. Tom Young from First Consultants in Beaver will be the special guest expert and talk about how managing and thinking about the money you already have can potentially create financial freedom for many of you. You can also watch the live video stream of the show on the WBVP WMBA Facebook page.
Here's The Beaver County forecast.
Expect some areas of patchy fog through mid-morning. Otherwise, it'll be partly sunny with a chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms. We'll reach highs near 80 and drop down to lows of 64. And tomorrow, look for gusty winds with showers and thunderstorms likely. We're going to see a little sunshine as well with highs of 78 and lows of 62. I'm Lisa Marie with your Beaver County weather.
Scott Tatey from your Beaver County radio station. Weather-wise, currently we are sitting at 55 degrees on our way to a high of 76. And just to confirm, that special 250th anniversary parade in Beaver County will be September 19th. We decided on that. And we'll be streaming it here at Beaver County Radio. We'll be streaming that parade. It'll be Beaver? Is that what I'm...
Beaver. It's definitely a Beaver. And I couldn't remember if the 19th was a Saturday or not.
It is a Saturday.
But that is the day. And that should be... That should be a nice one.
Another change coming this year, and I know it's not on the county level, but the Maple Syrup Festival moving to Big Knob Grange Fair. For many years, the county did run the Maple Syrup Festival, then Push Beaver County ran it for a few years. And any thoughts on that, the new location, Big Knob? And,
well, the Conservation District ran it.
Right. Yeah. That's right. I'm not visiting. I'm sorry like that.
For years. And that shouldn't have been the mission of the Conservation District. Quite frankly, they spent way too much time and money on that. That's when... it kind of transitioned, and I don't know. We'll see how it goes with Big Knob. Obviously, it's different. It's not going to be exactly the same event, just because it's not the same venue. It's something distinct about Brady's Run. We'll see how it is. I know my wife and I have signed up as volunteers because Brenda Applegate always calls and says, "Jack, you guys lend a hand." So we'll be there Saturday morning in one of the booths or tents that they have set up. So I'm not sure how the whole vendor thing is going to work in this one. I mean, obviously, if you've been to the Big Knob Fair, you know the fairgrounds and the way things are laid out. So I assume they're going to try and take advantage of that same thing. They're obviously known for the food. Tony and I were just at Beaver Lawrence Farm Bureau banquet last week.
Stuffed pork chop.
I bet they took care of you.
Stuffed pork chop.
I'll tell you what,
Unbelievable.
that was the most amazing meal. They charge you $15 for a stuffed pork chop and potatoes and beans and pie, and it's just Big Knob knows how to do it.
People line up for that every year.
These guys are good. So if you're eating pancakes, I'm sure these are going to be some good pancakes.
The green beans were phenomenal too. I don't know what they put in it. It was really good.
They were good.
Check that out.
All kinds of stuff that's probably bad for my health, but good for my taste buds. But we did transfer. We spoke to Push. Push transferred some of the equipment that was used at Brady's Run to help them with the scale of what they want to do. So that's in the works. Just have to hope for good weather later this month, and we'll see who comes and how it goes.
The weather's, when I was a fireman, we used to run the Fireman's Fair, and we'd be happy to get 4 good days out of
April. Yeah.
No, it was in
It can
June.
be challenging.
But it rained. We always got rain at least 2 days, or sometimes 3, and it affects your bottom line.
Yeah. How's the fishing in Brady's Run this year? Anything first day trout?
This weekend is.
I remember that was a controversy back in the year when people could camp. How early they could set
camp
up. Okay.
Just for one day.
Well, I drove through there on the way to the station, and there were already some RVs lining up. Here it's Thursday. There were a handful of RVs that were lining up, trying to get their spot picked for this coming weekend. So. That's always a fun time, but they've done the stocking and it's all ready to go. I guess as soon as I don't have to do an air horn. Say okay, so fishermen throw.
Farmers markets do that.
Lines.
Beaver Farmers Market does that. They use an air horn. You'll see little old ladies. They'll have their hands an inch away from a zucchini. They hear that air horn, they grab it. Yeah,
is that right?
I've seen it. Another event used to be in Brady's Run, the Festival of Trees, and in its last couple of years it was called the Christmas Spectacular. And every once in a while people bring that up too. Is that something that would ever come back? And I know the county wasn't running it. It was more volunteer the last few years especially. But do you get any scuttlebutt on that? Because it was in the lodge there in Brady's Run.
To be honest, Scott, and as an old guy, my wife and I have volunteered for years at Brady's, helping the History and Landmarks group and do that. If you look at a lot of those organizations that ran that, it was with folks that have finally aged out of their ability to continue to keep those things going. And unfortunately, I think that was the reality around most of what was happening with the festival.
Just to donate a Christmas tree every year, a decorated Christmas tree.
Yeah. It's tough. I mean, that's one of the challenges of having an aging demographic like we do, and the median age being 45. It is tough to engage younger generations to put the same kind of energy and commitment into anything from the Rotaries to different nonprofit organizations, charitable organizations. They're desperate for volunteers. And it's tough to do because we go around to all these events. Tony and I go around to all these events, and you see the same 20% of the population doing 80% of the work for all of these organizations. It's the same people that you see all the time, and after a while, people get burned out, or people move on, or people pass away. It's just, it's tough to sustain some of these things year after year.
We were talking about that Monday. I had Mario Leone as my guest, the Ambridge Borough manager.
Yeah.
We were talking about the old nationality days, and people will always lament, I missed that, but the people who are running that's aged
nobody's
out.
stepping up to help, bring that stuff back. They can bring some stuff back on a smaller scale.
The churches are trying to carry it.
Right.
Mario and Ambridge and the faith-based community there have done a tremendous job with a lot of things they've done there. I'm so proud of Ambridge and the work that they've done. They've come a long way back, and with our assistant with streetscapes and different stuff, and starting to have a much more vibrant business district there. But there's a great sense of camaraderie and community in Ambridge that's bringing a lot of those stuff back in. Just a little plug for Ambridge there.
Oh, yeah.
Those guys are doing a nice job.
I think so, too. They have the electric car charging area. Is there any other place in Beaver County?
We have one in a garage.
The county was first. The county was the first ones to have a public.
County garage, the parking garage.
We were the first ones in the county to have a public accessible charging station.
We have one by the river.
Yeah. Mario likes to take credit for having the first, but
so where's this one at? The county?
At the park that we have where Betters has all his apartments.
Oh yeah, Bridgewater. I didn't know that.
At the crossing.
So if I cross the train tracks, is it?
I think there's one in there too.
No, we never put one in.
We didn't put it in. We were supposed to.
Oh, okay. And maybe not a bad time to be talking about that. The prices of gas and oil keeps going up and up and up. Is that going to have a trickle-down effect to the county?
$1,000 to put one of those in.
Wow. With the gas prices and what they're doing, is that going to affect either sheriff's department budget or anything?
Well, they say it's temporary. We'll see.
I feel for anybody that relies on diesel fuel, because that has gone really through the roof. So a lot of our backup generators, a lot of some of our equipment obviously is diesel, but I feel for the farmers who have a lot of diesel equipment. Those prices are going through the roof right now. So right now, you kind of budget in a certain range, but I'm sure our fuel bills for the sheriff's cars and the other county cars that are out there is going to be astronomical in the next last month, in the next couple of months. I'm sure we're going to see a pretty big spike.
Okay, and we saw an article the other day talking about BCTA is going to be providing transportation to Pittsburgh for the NFL draft. The estimated 500,000 people descending upon us, and I've heard about Center Township hotels. They're even reaching out. So, is it going to? Are ramifications going to reach up here to Beaver County? Are there people staying in a hotel in Center?
Oh, no question.
There's houses.
Reservations.
People are leasing their houses out
in Beaver County.
Airbnb.
Okay.
Oh yeah, all over the place.
Wow.
Yeah. The whole region is feeling the impact of that, and we knew we were going to get a lot of attention and notoriety just by the number of NFL players that were born and raised here in Beaver County, and the number of Hall of Fame players we have. So there's a lot of interest in Beaver County, but having all that hotel cluster, they're
you know how hard it's going to be to get in that city.
I have no intention of trying.
Yeah, me neither.
But BCTA, they're taking people, do I understand, to like maybe it's to Station Square, then they're able to take the T in for free? Is that
right?
Yeah.
The city is mapped out, and I don't have all of them because, quite frankly, I'll watch it on TV.
Yeah. I'm calling myself a draft dodger. I'm not going to go anywhere near that.
This is one where I am not going to venture on a bus or in my car downtown for. I'm glad it's here and everything.
Look
but
at the stadium, 86,000
they have designated
people. How many
parking areas.
Now 500,000.
Yeah.
700,000. I heard.
The number, it's anywhere in between.
Yeah.
But good that Beaver County's making some money off it.
Did you cover the Taylor Swift concert?
I did, and it was hard finding a place to eat.
You saw what that was like, right?
We parked way up on the north side.
Right. So you can imagine Taylor Swift times 2 or 3.
Yeah. I can't imagine that. A lot less glitter, a lot younger girl or older people. But anyway, it's good Beaver County is finding a way.
We're the entire region, I think, benefiting from this. But Beaver County is especially because of our 376 access, the airport access, and having the hotel clusters there in center and around there. There's a lot to take advantage of in Beaver County. If you're coming
you may
from
have
out
to
of
go
town,
there to eat.
Yeah.
And BCTA, by the way, has done a real good job with their new business model of point-to-point service. So I know the city of Visit Pittsburgh, the NFL, and the Steelers themselves have been coordinating with a lot of the transportation authorities to have special runs to get people back and forth from downtown from this, because they know it's going to be congested. It's going to be, pretty tough to get around.
And they did that on normal Steeler Sundays. My dad and I took a bus that would pick you up at the Giant Eagle in Chippewa and take you right to the Steeler game. And it was like a Sunday night game we went to. So you can do that on any side.
I think that's still available. Yeah.
Yeah, I think people don't really maybe take advantage of that as much as they could. Really.
No.
Well, gentlemen, in the final 2 minutes we have, anything else you want to talk about, county government wise, or what's headed our way, or?
No, I certainly wish everybody a happy Easter and some peace and quiet. Tumultuous times, right. A lot going on, a lot of activity. So I really just wish people a lot of peace and happiness over the Easter holiday.
And just on cue, my phone line lights up. So let's see.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully it's a call of peace and tranquility. Hey, you're on the Beaver County Radio Morning Show. You're talking to the commissioners. Hello there.
This program goes too fast. You guys got to extend it another hour. Who's running for commissioner? Who's running for commissioner?
He's asking who's running for commissioner.
I am not.
It's kind of early, but I'm probably going to run.
Who said I am not? I didn't notice that voice.
I'm sorry, this is Commissioner Manning. No, I have made the decision that I'm kind of a age limit guy. I pour everything I have every day into this job. In 8 years, I'll be 75, and it will be time for me to hand the baton off to somebody else who I hope can keep things going and prospering here in Beaver County.
Are you running for something else?
Oh, no, I've had no other ambitions other than serving my community as a commissioner. My goal in life wasn't to be an elected official. It was, how do I pay back a community that embraced me 26 years ago when I moved here from Virginia. And this will be my fourth retirement. And this is just,
now one other question. Why did they move the Pancake Festival from Brady's Run to Big Nog?
There were some organizing issues that Push Beaver County had at the last minute that prompted them having to back away. And then the Big Knob Grange jumped up and said, hey, we'd like to give it a shot. So we're giving it a shot this year to see how they can manage it.
Hey, thanks for taking my call, Scott. You guys too. Have a good day.
Oh, we appreciate your call very much, sir.
Take care.
You take care.
Thanks.
All right, so yeah, it's 9:58. So like we were saying, so I do appreciate you guys coming out once a month and
always. No, it's a
our...
privilege to be able to come here and talk to our constituents. So yeah.
Not too many places in this world you can do what we're doing here.
Yeah, right.
That's what's important.
We're proud of
and
you.
happy Easter to you and to
you as
everyone
well.
out there.
Pirates going to win Friday, home opener?
Absolutely.
There's a spirit. Are you a Pirates fan? Or you
if it doesn't snow. No, I am a Pirates fan as long as it's not playing the Phillies. That's my caveat.
That's fair enough. All right, gentlemen, you take care. Thanks for joining us. Thank you all for listening as well.
If you own a company or a small business, you might have considered advertising on radio. It's smart because radio is still the most far-reaching media outlet today. WBVP and WMBA can get you results. Get more information at beavercountyradio.com.
The views and opinions expressed on WBVP and WMBA are those of the participants and host. They are not necessarily the viewpoint of WBVP and WMBA, its staff, management, and advertisers. Thank you for listening to WBVP and WMBA.
Yankee Trader, Saturday